各位正在收看直播的美国、英国，还有国外和国内的朋友们，大家好。由电子烟行业委员会 ECCC、美国电子烟协会 VTA、英国电子烟协会 UKVIA 联合主办，约克艾维普斯麦克维尔协办的国际电子烟发展直播会，现在开始。
Hello everyone, this is the International Electronic Cigarette Life Conference jointly organized by ECCC, VTA and UKVIA. This conference is also co-organized by Relax, IVPS and SMART. Let's begin now.
我是主持人，中国电子商会电子烟行业委员会秘书长敖伟诺，在我旁边的是英语主持人刘志斌刘总。
This is Weno Ao, the General Secretary of ECCC and the host of this live conference. I am Ethan Liu, I'm from Green Sound Technology.
首先我要向大家介绍直播会的主讲嘉宾。
Firstly, I would like to introduce the guest speakers.
美国电子烟技术协会 VTA 主席托尼阿布德。
We have Tony Abu, the chairman of VTA.
英国电子烟协会 UKVIA 主席约翰邓恩。
John Dunne, the chairman of UKVIA.
约克 CEO 汪银汪总。
Kate Wang, the CEO of Relax Technology.
云南大学教授、新型烟草专家邓明邓教授。
Professor Ming Deng from Yunnan University. He's also an expert from the next generation tobacco products.
还有来到直播室现场的两位演讲嘉宾。
We have also two speakers in the scenes with us tonight.
艾维普斯 CEO 欧阳俊伟欧总。
Reverend Ou Yang, the CEO of IVPS Technology.
麦克维尔副总经理王鑫王总。
And Eve Wang, the Vice President from SMART.
欢迎各位主讲嘉宾。
Let's welcome all the leading speakers.
最近由于新冠疫情的爆发，美国和英国也受到严重的影响。对此，我们向美国和英国，包括世界各国在内的电子烟行业的同仁们表示诚挚的慰问和关心。病毒是人类共同的敌人，希望大家共同努力，早日战胜疫情，恢复正常的国际交流及贸易。
Recently, the United States and United Kingdom have also been seriously affected by the outbreak of the coronavirus, to which we express our condolence and concern to all our friends and colleagues in the vaping industry all over the world. We hope that everyone can work together to overcome the epidemics as soon as possible and resume back to normal for the international exchange and trade.
好了，马上就要连线第一位演讲的嘉宾。现在是伦敦时间下午的1点钟，在英国伦敦的约翰邓恩将为大家做直播分享。那么在昨天6月15日，英国宣布重启包括电子烟商店在内的实体店复工复业。那么对于疫情期间英国的电子烟市场表现怎么样，影响有多大，以及后续面临哪些机遇和挑战，那么最新的资讯马上为您直播。由于画面的切换有10几秒的一个延迟，那么请各位耐心等候。
Okay, let's have our first speaker, John Dunne from London. It's now 1 p.m. in UK time. So just yesterday, the UK announced to restart and reopen the stores. So how was the UK market during the epidemics? And what are the opportunities and challenges in the future? So John, I'm going to be right with you in a second.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And I'd like to thank the ECC for the opportunity again to speak with you today. For those of you that don't know me, my name is John Dunne, and I'm the director of the UK Vaping Industry Association and managing director of Different Group Consulting. In my presentation today, we'll be talking about the UKVIA and its work, giving you an overview of what's happening currently in the UK market, an update on the effects of COVID-19, and finally the regulatory landscape and how UKVIA supports the positive image of vaping. The UKVIA is Britain's leading trade association representing the dynamic vaping sector. We represent most of the major brands, manufacturers, distributors and retailers of vaping products in the UK, as well as leading laboratories and compliance companies. Our vision is simple: to create a world where the evidence-based, life-changing public health benefits of vaping are fully understood and their positive impact maximized. We use our collaborative voice to campaign for common sense regulation, raise awareness of vaping, and educate the public, media, and political stakeholders on the evidence of vaping's huge public health potential. Our members set the highest level of quality standards from the manufacturing of products to their ingredients through to their electronic function. Our members represent over 70% of the entire UK market, and some of the names here you will recognize immediately. So let's take a look at the UK market overview. The UK is Europe's largest vaping market, second only to the US. Unlike many countries, we have a relatively light touch regulatory environment. This has encouraged growth, and the public health system is generally supportive of our category. The UK adds no extra taxes to vaping products, and cross-border distance sales are allowed. As the UK leaves the European Union on the 31st of December this year, the Tobacco Products Directives will no longer apply. However, the TRPR, or Tobacco and Related Products Regulations of 2016, will remain in force. And this may present a possibility for some positive changes. The specialty vape channel still is the most popular for purchasing vape products. And this sector is very consolidated, with 70% of stores belonging to a chain. With that said, mainstream retail is growing as more brands enter and the closed system products grow in popularity. And fruit flavors remain the most popular among consumers, with nicotine salts becoming more popular. As you can see from this slide, since 2011, there has been a significant reduction in adult smokers, driven primarily by cost savings and the desire to switch to a safer alternative. And this is supported with public education programs and a very pro-vaping public health system. Vaping technology is the key driver of cigarette decline throughout the UK. Currently in the UK, we have about 10.6 million nicotine users, with 7 million of those being current smokers and 3.6 million vaping. So as you can see from the diagram, 42% of those current smokers really want to make a change now. And that means there's potentially 3 million smokers who want to quit now and potentially switch to vaping. This could double our market. The UK category is currently worth around £1 billion and has a growth rate annually of around 15%. As you can see from the breakdown, the vape channel represents the largest segment, with 45% of vapers purchasing their product through this channel. Online sales are extremely strong, with 35% of consumers purchasing online, and COVID-19 has proven how important it is to allow responsible online sales. We predict the market will continue to see long-term growth. Estimates will put it at almost 1.3 billion by 2021 and 1.4 billion by 2022. The retail market continues to grow also in volume. Looking at a 52-week period, the category grows around 29%. The only area that we've seen decline is in the older traditional Cigalite cartridge market, which is down about 10%. But the biggest winner overall are the capsules and pods, contributing to over 50% of the growth. As you can see from this slide, the top e-liquid and Harbour brands are heavily represented by the independent brands, and pre-filled tanks for pods and basic open systems continue to dominate the marketplace, which will appeal to the new switchers in the market. Now, it's not all been good news for vaping over the industry for the last 12 months. When I was there with you in December, we were just discussing the EVALI situation and the effects that it had on our marketplace. Little did we know what was coming down next. Shortly after my return from the conference, COVID-19 hit the Chinese mainland and severely disrupted the supply chain. With the unplanned extension to your holidays and the subsequent slow return to production in China, many UK distributors and retailers were left short of stock. As COVID quickly sped through Europe, the UK shut down all non-essential businesses from the 24th of March. We hoped that vape shops would be considered essential to public health, but despite a concerted effort by the UKVIA and others, we were unable to convince regulators. Now, this left switchers with little educational support. We were successful, though, at ensuring that basic supplies were accessible to smokers through the convenience channel and more complex offerings through online retailers. Through continued discussions, vape shops were later allowed to offer home delivery and click and collect services, which helped the smaller stores. Most of the large chains remained closed, relying on their online operations. And during an initial period, we saw a decline of 60% in open system sales. Stores saw between a 30 and 60% initial decline in sales, but quickly adapted to the new business models. Online retailers saw big increases from 300 up to as much as 1,500% increase. To protect businesses, the government put a series of grants and subsidies in place that also protected workers' wages up to 80%. The UKVIA and its members also came to the aid of less well-off and vulnerable in our society. The government had placed homeless people in hotels in order to get them off the streets. However, many of them smoked. Officials were worried that they would congregate outside the hotels to smoke and could spread the virus, and several charities and local governments contacted us for help. Our members, including our retailers eCigarette Direct, Evapo, Oxford Vapors, and from China Relax Technology, Smock and Vapefly, came to the rescue and supplied thousands of vaping kits and e-liquids to support over 4,000 homeless smokers. Public education is a big part of what the UKVIA does, and as part of that, each year the UKVIA holds the largest vape awareness campaign in the world, called Vapril. Under normal circumstances, this program is run both online and in thousands of stores worldwide, as well as with our international partner associations. However, this year we weren't able to do that, and we adapted the program to run 100% online. Despite the challenges of 2020 program, it was highly successful with over 295,000 impressions across social media and 160,000 Twitter users using the hashtag Vapril. But it's not all doom and gloom. There is good news. The UK continues to have a robust industry with over 3,000 vape stores, which is up roughly 10% since last year. And the good news continues with all vape stores reopening in Britain yesterday and stores in Scotland and Wales reopening later this week or next week. Perhaps thanks to the government's financial intervention, many vape shops were able to keep their staff paid, and for some, although turnover was down, they were able to keep and manage their overheads. This, I believe, will put the industry in a good position to bounce back quickly, but this will depend on how quickly footfall returns to normal levels. The recent menthol ban on cigarettes that came into force in the UK in the last few weeks also may encourage smokers to switch to vaping. So let's take a look at some of our future challenges. I believe vaping is well placed to bounce back for those setbacks, and many of our members are reporting a positive long-term view. But there's still some short-term challenges that we face. Adapting to social distancing, rules, and uncertainty about how quickly the footfall will return to the stores. And this is worrying some of our larger chains. And also ensuring a stable and secure supply chain with China is also important. And I believe our closer relationship with the ECCC members will help us with that goal. So now let's take a look at what's happening on the policy and regulatory front. We know how important the positive pro-vaping public health image is when it comes to vaping in the UK. And we take that duty to protect that image very seriously. The UKVIA continues to engage with all major government agencies and health departments in the UK, including the Department of Health, the Department of Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy, and Public Health England, to name but a few. Our policy committee, led by Mark Pooler, a new addition to the UKVIA team and former special advisor to the UK government, has set out a comprehensive and broad plan for political engagement for this year. Now, I won't cover each individual point, but there are some important things that we are doing in regards to Tobacco Products Directive review, which is scheduled for next year. While the UK will have left the EU at that stage, we understand that the UK is not safe from bad regulation made elsewhere. It is not our interest to protect from bad decisions which lead to unintended consequences for our industry and public health. The All-Party Parliamentary Group on Vaping, or APPG, has been a useful tool for the UKVIA over the years to engage directly with regulators. With the many changes in government and the COVID situation, it hasn't yet to be reformed, and we are working with the government officials to restart this as soon as possible when we come out of lockdown. We will continue to support the retail sector and the vaping industry by ensuring that should the UK go into a second lockdown, we will have demonstrated that the vaping industry is ready to deal with the challenges should that arise. Other challenges that we face will continue to build on our relationship with the devolved governments in Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. And this has been extremely critical when dealing with the COVID situation, as each government has the ability to make decisions and rules independently of the main government in Westminster. Equally important is continuing our strong relationship with the EU, and lastly, preparing ourselves for the WHO Framework Convention on Tobacco Control Conference and COP9 in November 2021. Other key areas that the UKVIA is focusing on, which will be around the commitment to the global alliance that we all made here in December, and that's around our commitment to standards. We are honoured that the UKVIA has 2 subject matter experts representatives on the very prestigious British Standards Institute, or BSI. This service organisation produces standards across a wide variety of industry sectors. Its codes and practices specialize in covering manufacturing and technical subjects. And the BSI committee feeds into our standards committee, the CEIN, EN and ISO standards throughout various working groups. Our representatives take direction from our new internal standards committee, which is open to full board members of the UKVIA and to participate in, and I believe Relax Technologies has just applied to join that committee. And I hope other UKVIA manufacturers will follow. Vaping still has an ongoing negative perception problem, and the situation is aggravated most recently by the US President's intervention on the flavor bans in America, but also by the outbreak of COVID-19 today. Just over half of smokers understand that vaping is less harmful than smoking, and in some cases they think that it's more harmful. This is a trend that has not been getting better and has slowed the uptake of vaping in the UK. This has continued alarm in the media and the general public around vaping and young people. We also have seen anti-vaping US funds reaching markets outside of the US. And the media-driven clickbait headlines abound rather than facts-based scientific review. And the UKVIA understands that it has a duty to protect the fragile, positive vaping narrative in the UK. And I hope I have shown you today some of the great work that we're doing for this cause. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation today. I hope you found it useful. And should you have any further need for information, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd like again to thank the association for the time given today to speak with you, and I hope to see you all again very soon in person. Thank you.
感谢 John 的精彩分享。那么英国是中国电子烟出口的第2大国家，也是全球最支持电子烟的国家，同时也是对电子烟的监管最成熟的国家，成功的经验值得推广学习和探索研究。
Thanks, John. UK is the second largest export destination for the Chinese vaping industry, and is also the most policy-friendly country to the vaping products in the world. The success in the UK is always to be studied and learned.